Welcome back everybody to another episode over here on Stoneblock 3. And as you guys can see from this amazing wall of mechanical crafters, we are only missing 3 ingredients in order to make our ultimate stew. And these 3 ingredients are the honeyed apple, the chocolate glazed berries, and the blaze cakes. Now, these guys all involve some create automation, like this needs an apple and some honey. This needs some sweet berries and some chocolate, which on its own also needs some mixing. And the blaze cake needs some lava and a blaze cake base, which requires some cinder, which requires some automation through netherrack. So we got a little bit to do in order to finish this, but it shouldn't take that long. So let's go and start with our blaze cakes. Now I have this little setup over here. I slowed this down so I could easily see the rotation of these guys because it was going crazy. And then we literally just need to grab a single piece of netherrack and slap it on over here. And now this should start inputting netherrack into there. Perfect. And we have our cinder flowers. So let's go ahead and lock that. And let's go ahead and bump this to a really high speed. There we go. Now let's give this like 1 upgrade and then void the rest. Yeah, just I think 1 is just more than enough to get this. So one this, boom. So now this will always keep on working. And then we have to mix the things in a compacting system, which is using a basin and a mechanical press, and then we also need to input some eggs and some sugar. Now there's a couple of ways we can do this. I think I'm going to use my system, my ME system, to do this. We can probably just use an external storage here and then just use not ME system, the refined storage system, and then just use a regulator to always input the required amounts in the basin. But we can also just lock the recipe, which hopefully is enough to, well, not destroy the whole lineup of things that we're trying to do. So let's see if we can set this up like easily. I want to link it up close to that so we don't have a lot of issues importing and exporting stuff. So we just need to now raise this up a little bit, give this a press, which probably is too high, right? Maybe. I guess we'll see. Oh well, no, it wasn't too high. Okay, so we can just do that over there, and then we just gotta export it. Let's use some pipes. Let's put them into a drawer. We can just do it like this, and then we just use our wrench. This is like the easiest part right now because I know that it was working, so we're good. And then we can also just put this here and lock this so it will only accept this as well. So we have the blaze cakes nearly done. We just need some spouts now, and I think I'm gonna use like a depot to do this. Like I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna grab some blocks over here, put it over here, put the depot here, because we're going to put it to the side. So if we just grab ourselves another item pipe, we're going to item pipe this into here like so. Yep. So now we have the blaze cake there, and then we just put the spout like right on top, and then we're going to have our ender tank giving it lava, and then we're just going to export it into, well, another drawer. Yeah, we can export it into another drawer. Like we can even put another one here, most likely, and then do it like this and like this. And we have to lock this recipe so it will only accept the lava version. And there we go. We have the blaze cake automation. It's pretty simple. This guy doesn't need any input. He just immediately outputs the lava, which is really good. This guy is doing its thing. I just use an EMC link to give the sugar and the eggs, and we got the blaze cakes. There we go. What's it called? I forgot what they're called. The base, yeah, the base. And then we got the blaze cakes, the final version, which is really good. We just need like 2,000 of these so we can put it, I think it's over there, yeah, and on to the next one. And there we go. The other guys are now also done. Now the apples are pretty simple. The EMC link with a funnel, tossing the honey bottles into a drain, then a pipe hooking it up to the spout, then just another EMC link for apples and the drawer. And I also have this advanced collector picking up water bottles, which also picks up these water bottles from this milk, which is using the same setup, and then putting it into a basin so the mechanical mixer can mix the sugar and the cocoa beans with it. Then over here we actually need the mechanical arm to power a blaze burner under there, which is using this Eternus fuel, the same setup we used over there for our boiler. And then we also have some sweet berries going into here, and boom, we have the chocolate glazed berries as well. Now we just need to put them into the right place and give this guy some rotational power. Here we go. We have all of these guys already in place using all of these exporters. So let's give this a go. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. Oh, it works. We have ultimate stew. And oh. That's a problem. Okay, hold on. How? Oh. Uh-oh. That's an actual issue. I did not think we would have that issue. Because he outputs a lot of things. Bowls and glass bottles. So we have to change this setup right here. Which means we're gonna have to change that up. Oh, I really did not see that one coming. So I guess we can move this over here. And then we just have, let's put a chest here, and then we can also just grab some pipes. These pipes with some ultimate upgrades. So we can put it over here. We tell you to pull, but you're only going to pull ultimate stew. So whitelist, ultimate stew, only ultimate stew will go into here. And at the bottom, or at the back I should say, we can just do a trash can, right? Just do a trash can. We can even just do this, and we can also add this, tell it to do bowls and glass bottles. And now we just have to relink this, which we can do like so, like this, and put a cogwheel there. Everything should work fine now. Yep. It's working perfectly. So now I just need to, well, change this guy from being there into actually being where it should be, which is here. And boom, there we go. We have ultimate stew automated. Amazing. So you guys remember this dimension, right? The one from Blood Magic. I know it looks a little bit different because I don't have the the night vision on, but you can actually like go out, and this brings us to our next singularity, which is going to be the polonium one. And you're wondering, well, how am I gonna make polonium here? Well, I'm just gonna back off a little bit from that platform right over there. I think we're good. Gonna go like 200 meters away. Yeah, 200. There you go, 200 meters away. And we got these balloons from Create. We can just like right click them on, and boom, you got some balloons. So we did fell off. No, we're good. Yeah, which means now we can just make ourselves a little bit of a platform here and enjoy like a void world, which anything that happens here, well, it's not gonna affect our base in any way, because I saw a couple of other FTB partners, not a couple, one in specifically, making this reactor, which is what we're gonna do. And it kind of tick accelerated the reactor with some watches of flowing time. and it kind of ended up badly for him in his base, so I do not want to do that. So we're out here on the void where nothing can hurt us, and yeah, now we can get our hands on this reactor. But first I need to just check. I'm not sure if these guys are going to be enough. What do I mean by that? I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough capabilities to run the reactor. I mean, I guess it depends on what size I'm doing the reactor on. Like first I actually need to figure out where I'm gonna put the middle of it, and then I need to expand it a little bit, because we need to find out where our middle is going to be. Then I'm gonna want to think of a place where to put the waste and stuff like that, so I'm gonna plan it out. So I guess I should actually tell you guys a little bit more about the reactor itself. Well, I made these guys, the aqueous accumulators, but I don't think they were being fast enough, so I upgraded up top, as I'll show you guys in a second, because these guys, even though they were outputting a decent amount of water, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna go and remove them. I mean, I guess I don't really need to remove them. I could just leave them here, but they're not being as powerful as I thought they would be, so they're not gonna stay here, because then I can just use the space for something else. So I guess we can just go ahead and remove all of this. And the solution was actually making a tank, but a tank from Mechanism, a dynamic tank, which can be, well, any size you want. And I guess I can show you guys that in a second. There we go. Up here we have the dynamic tank. You can see a bunch of pipes going in, going out, going on to the same place, because this is meant to have this thing completely powered up or always full. It has like 5 million or 5,000, no, 5 million millibuckets. Yes. Then I'm just gonna hook it up to this side right here. Boom. It immediately goes to 8,000 buckets, and then we can just bring it out, because we're gonna have to do this side over here. And it's pretty simple. It's just go over here, you toggle this on, and you have to use dynamic valves, and you have to use this dynamic tank all around. Like the corners have to be dynamic tanks, the middles can be dynamic valves, and on the inside I have an Ever-Tide amulet on empty, so it will try to empty out this as infinite water. So you're good. You're good. This will always keep the reactor filled up, so it's pretty good. And then you just use some of these pipes. I'm just debating how fast these pipes can be. Because I'm pretty sure you can use the normal, like the fluid pipes. Like if we type fluid pipes, these guys with an ultimate upgrade, and I think they can be faster. So in order to power up this boy, we need fuel. And the fuel we need to use is fissile fuel. In order to make this, we gotta make some isotropic centrifuges, which then they need to process uranium hexafluoride, which comes from hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide. And this guy comes from a chemical dissolution chamber using sulfuric acid or fluoride to make hydrofluoric acid. And this guy comes from chemical infuser with sulfuric trioxide and water vapor to make this, or a deconcentrating version if you use this version in order to craft what you need to craft. But I'm gonna go with this one, which uses oxygen and sulfur trioxide, which comes from the chemical oxidizer, which uses sulfur to give us sulfur dioxide. So there's a bunch of machines that I need to set up, so I'm gonna set it up and then I'll explain later. So the setup is complete. So let's go to the beginning. We have an aqueous accumulator giving us the water that we need. this is temporary. If this is not enough, I don't have the upgrades on the machines yet, so maybe I need some more water. Let's see. Then we have a chemical oxidizer taking in sulfur dust, which is EMCable, so you have an EMC link, making us our sulfuric acid, right? Yeah, I think it is. And then we have oxygen coming from an electrolytic separator, which is dumping the hydrogen and only giving us the oxygen. All of these guys coming into a chemical infusion, which is making us, I guess I can see here. No, I can't. Sulfur trioxide. Now, this, you also need to be very careful with these guys, because you need to properly tell them which comes from where. So you have to configure the gases to the right places, so you don't end up having like oxygen on the right side and sulfur dioxide on the left. So be careful with that before you connect the pipes. Make sure your connections, your inputs and outputs are on the right path. And yeah, after the coming through the chemical infusion, we have a rotary condenser, which is using water to make vapor. You have to toggle this to be on the left side, so it's going to be deconcentrating. And then they all come into a chemical infusion, which is making sulfuric acid, which then is coming into here, and then it's being used with a chemical dissolution chamber with some fluoride, which is EMCable, giving us our hydrofluoric acid. There you go. And then we have the final machine, which is another chemical oxidizer, taking in yellow cake uranium to give us uranium oxide. Now, the last machine is the isotopic centrifuge, which is giving us our fissile fuel. I'm going to go ahead and say that we can just grab some upgrades, speed upgrades on all of the machines. And then of course I'm also going to give them energy upgrades, because they might need some. So let's go with a speed upgrade for this guy. Oh no, that was the energy. Okay, now some speed upgrades. Yeah, you can see how fast that went. So let's start with the first ones actually. So speed, energy. Yeah, it's gonna start going really fast. And then upgrades, speed, energy. And it's gonna start giving us, well, that thing pretty fast. Of course, you with some speed and with some energy. There we go. It's pretty much instant, the output. I think this guy is still the bottleneck, so maybe we need to make some more. No, I don't think the oxygen is the, yeah, this guy. So you can add another chemical oxidizer, which is probably what we're gonna do. Add another one of these. And if you go over here, speed upgrades, energy upgrades. We have some more. Oh, the energy did not go in. There you go. We completely depleted our water vapor, which means we need to give this guy some upgrades. There we go. Now it has a constant input, which, well, depleted this side, and this side needs another. I'm gonna make another chemical oxidizer, but you get the gist of it. With the upgrades, you can just know what's causing the bottlenecks on your system, so you also like can easily figure where you need to have more inputs of stuff. I'm guessing this chemical oxidizer will also be a bottleneck. We'll see. So before I turn this bad boy on, which is now completely filled with fuel, because I used some watches of floating time over there, and my power almost ran out, so I had to improvise a little bit. But I just made another watch, placed it in our reactor, our nitro reactor, and everything is fine now. So this guy needs to output us some waste over here, and he also needs to output some coolant over here. Now, in order to change this guy, right now is on input. You just shift right click with the wrench and then see output waste, output coolant, input, back and forth. We need to output waste into these guys, and then we just do this, and we do the same here. Is already on waste, right? Yeah, waste. And just put another tube here, and I think we can turn this bad boy on. I also chunk loaded the entire area, so everything seems to be chunk loaded. So I'm gonna activate it and check. Are we losing anything? Like, do we lose on water? Are we losing on fuel? Like, so far everything seems normal, but the burning rate is also kind of low right now. The burning rate is at 0.1. Let's change this to 0.5. So the water like goes down and up, so it's okay. The fuel seems to be okay. Our heated coolant is also being voided. Nuclear waste as well, because I just used the ultimate trash can over here. Yep, this guy. Just completely voiding everything. It just ignores everything. It just voids all the items in this game, I think, even water if you want to. But yeah, we seem to be fine. Now, some of these guys, probably you, yeah, you're being used to, well, put right over here. Yes, you can see this tube is a little bit darker, and this is what we need. We need the nuclear waste in order to progress, because it's going to be with this nuclear waste right here that we can get with water. We can put it up with water, and we get some sulfur dust in a pressurized reaction chamber to get polonium, and polonium into another pressurized reaction chamber with fluoride dust and water. We get polonium pellets. So let's set this up. And here we go. We have this thing automated. I have a watch here, so the things work a little bit faster. And I upped our burning rate to 85 because it seems to, well, be doing okay. In terms of water, in terms of fuel, in terms of heated coolant, in terms of waste, everything seems to be fine. We have our waste here, which was going into these barrels, and now I'm just starting to empty them out. They're going to the tube so that they can go into our pressurized reaction chamber, which is getting some or fluoride, yes, or sulfur. I'm sorry, fluoride is this guy. This guy is getting fluoride because he's getting polonium, and this guy is giving us polonium pellets. We're up to a stack. How many do we need? We need 3 per singularity, so it's quite expensive. This will have to run for quite a while. Yeah, luckily I chunk loaded this area, so we can now go and focus on the last 2, which is the nitro crystals and the pig iron. These guys are relatively faster to get. So I made this crazy noise machine over here, as you guys can see. How did I make this? What is this making? Well, it's making coagulated balls of blood. These guys right here, because we're already using them to make pig iron. I'll show that in a second. And this is our smeltery, which now is just burning through zombie heads over here, getting us tons of blood. Of course, there's a watch of flowing time to speed everything up. We have an ender tank over here with lava, just to keep this thing filled with lava, and then we just pipe out directly into a casting table, and it gives us coagulated balls of blood. It's a pretty easy setup if you already have a smeltery. It's not really that complicated. Now, this can become a little bit complicated, especially because you can see that I'm, for some reason, not even doing the things properly. I kind of need to check on what is happening on some of these ones, because for some reason they're not getting, I think it's insets. No, they all have the same recipe. Oh, because I have this on single. Can I not change this into a stack? I can extract the stack, but cannot input more than a single. Okay. Yeah, which basically means that some of these guys are not getting items. I have no clue on why. I really don't know why some of these are not, some and all the other ones are. I might just try and relink them. Yeah, find out who they are and then relink them, but I'll show you how I did. Basically, I'm using XNet, advanced XNet connectors, as you guys can see. Then I have 3 drawers over here, which I'm exporting items from my system. And I have the coagulated balls of blood, some clay, and some iron. And then I have this all linked up into the controller. Now, in the controller, this bad boy right here, you can see
all your linked stuff, even like the cables here. If you have the like ender gates, you can see those. You can see like this, for example. So yeah, you can see a lot of things. But what do you do with this? Well, you gotta bear in mind, you want to create item channels. You change them up here. This is an item channel, and you create. And basically, how this works is that you can extract from multiple sources and input in multiple sources at the same time. And I told my system on the first channel over here to extract items from the clay drawer, the blood drawer, and the iron drawer. And then he's going to extract them from here and input them into these smelters, to these induction smelters. And then I just have a second channel, which is directly exporting them from the smelters and importing them into this drawer. It's actually quite simple. Then I'm just using like ender gates to power this. You do need to have them set up to import and extract from the bottom for you or from the back, I'm sorry, or from you where you have it connected, the cables. And now I'm just gonna try and hunt down like these 5 that are not working and try and figure out why they're not working. Ah, there you go, they're all working. I think I was just not, the watch was just not powering the controller. Now it is, so everything should be working as fine. And I have it on to an external storage, so we have 50k big iron ingots. That's pretty good. So we can just directly go ahead into our area over here. Right over here. As we can see, we're done with the ethereal slates. We're done with those. We're pretty close on finishing on the mana steel as well, with just a pretty basic setup, I'm not even gonna lie. So up here, pig iron, boom. I can even toss these. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's go. We have pig iron automated. We also have the polonium one automated, but we still need to bring it over here, so we're gonna have to work on that. But with all that said, that's all the time we have for today. We did a lot today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as we're getting pretty close to ending up this pack. We only need 2 more automations and we are kind of done with it. That's really exciting, actually. But with all that said, that's all the time I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you in the next one. Bye.